The Amazon jungle, as we know it, is burning. Deforestation is a serious problem that if continued, it will cause an unbalanced ecosystem. And we're already seeing that today. We saw that in 2019. The Amazon jungle was burning at an alarming rate that was unstoppable. Thankfully, it has stopped, but there's still fires all over due to during the dry season. And according to Dr. Aaron Sills, slash and burn agriculture is a method of growing food in which farmers and cattle ranchers deliberately cut down and burn forest land to clear crops and livestock. The crops that is really devastating the Amazon rainforest just for slash and burn agriculture is the palm oil industry. The palm oil industry is a humongous industry. The palm oil is in vegetable oil. It is in cosmetics. It is in many different forms of varieties of things. And we use it day in and day out. And this is providing corporations and small farmers to go out there and just burn and just grow this crop for this. And also palm oil, according to Rainforest Rescue, palm oil-based biofuels actually have 3 times the climate impact of traditional fossil fuels. So we've always been taught that biofuel is a cleaner fuel. Well, it's not. Regular oil is better than biofuel because palm oil creates biofuel, and palm oil, the Amazon rainforest is being cut down for, it's a humongous spectrum, and it's creating this big carbon dioxide around the world. For decades on end, according to the Rainforest Rescue, forests and human settlements have been destroyed and replaced by green deserts to contain virtually no biodiversity in the area size of New Zealand. And that has been just ineffective due to overburning the crops and overburning the land. And the size of New Zealand, that's just ridiculous. That's just New Zealand. I just was quite shocked. And that's just not happening. And when you think of the Amazon rainforest, there's other rainforests. According to UCSUSA.org, in Malaysia, the carbon stock of tropical forest can range up to 99 million kilograms of carbon per square mile. That's equivalent of emissions from driving an average car from New York to San Francisco back 76 times. That is a ridiculous amount of times to drive, regardless anyway. To even drive from New York to San Francisco was a ridiculous drive. 76 times, that's a lot. And going back to the Amazon jungle, the Peruvian Amazon is losing the average of 120,000 hectares of rainforest every year, which is 70% caused by migratory farmers. And these farmers are, like I said, growing palm oil, it's growing crops, it's cutting down trees. And I was going to show you this little picture of what it's burning. The Amazon is burning right here, as you see, and it's creating this open land for crops to grow. And when you think about it, you don't think about the indigenous people, the indigenous population. The fires and crops are pushing indigenous people populations out of the Amazon rainforest and into modern day world, not modern day world, but societies that they don't even really know about. The Amazon, according to phys.org, the Amazon is home to 30 million people, including 350 indigenous people and ethnic groups who rely on the rainforest for food, shelter, clothing, and even medicine. According to the Amazon team, deforestation in the Amazon has increased 278%, relative to the same period in the previous year alone, last year and the year before last. That is unbelievable, and that is affecting the indigenous population and people and displacing them into the real world. And not only corporations and farmers are doing this, also the president of Brazil, Bolsonaro, according to The Atlantic, Bolsonaro promised to push, he said, promised to push indigenous people to, quote, develop, arguing that making out indigenous territories for indigenous people only serve to separate from the rest of the world, suppress the population like animals in a zoo. When I saw that article, I was devastated. I almost teared up because, like, calling them animals like animals in a zoo, you know, our ancestors were like that. I mean, we weren't all this so-called lovey-dovey, educational based. We farmed the lands. We hunted. We gathered. And he also said to protect the Amazon, command and control enforcement actions are not enough. We need to give opportunity to all of this population so they can develop like the rest of the country. You cannot force a group of people, a group of ethnic indigenous people to change their ways instantly. You just can't. It's ridiculous to do that per se. And it hurts me to see that these people are being displaced by this, and just for anything. And I was going to show you the screen one more time. Let's go to it. Oh, right, here it is. Here's a photo of two indigenous people that I saw on the internet. Look behind you. It's being torn down. The president of Brazil is going after them and displacing their traditions and how the way they live and breathe and way they do things. And it's just ridiculous. And I'm just appalled. Not only it's affecting indigenous people, it's also affecting the biodiversity of the wildlife in the Amazon. According to the Amazon team, the Amazon dense rainforest is home to 10% of biodiversity known so far on the Earth's, represented in 427 different species of animals, 40,000 plants, 1,300 different species of birds, 378 reptiles, 400 amphibians, and 3,000 freshwater fish. That's just shocking in my opinion. I didn't even know there was that many species regardless, and how it's been broken up and how someone even recorded that. But anywho, that is a lot. And according to the Green Thumb, the removal of the trees and other types of vegetation reduce the available food, shelter, and breeding habits. If you do that, you are killing them and misplacing them of the animals, just like indigenous people. According to Green Thumb, animals may not be able to find adequate shelter, water, and food to survive, remaining to the habitat. We see that in today in society, as we see probably like once a year or like a couple of years in each decade, that groups of species are just dying. And we see like this next extinction, another extinction. And when I think about extinction, I'm thinking of untouched forest areas. And I'm kind of getting a little off on the Amazon forest per se, but we have a forest ourselves. It's called the Tongass National Forest. It's located in Alaska. According to the Smithsonian, since 2001, the forest has been protected under the roadless rule, but it exempt Tongass National Forest from their protection to open new areas to logging. I mean, if we're as we're calling out Brazil for doing this, we're going but on our backs, we're doing it as well in our own country. It's ridiculous, a double standard. According to the Smithsonian, almost 17 million acres of the Tongass National Park can cover Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Connecticut, all three of those states into one. That is unbelievable. And that is, according to the Smithsonian, that while tropical rainforests are the lungs of the planet, The Tongass is the lungs of North America. And if you burn that and you log it down, we will lose oxygen. We will lose the breathable oxygen, and it creates this carbon dioxide that gases, and it causes global warming. I mean, it's just catastrophic. It's just catastrophic, and we need to make change now. Hopefully this speech and the way what I showed you touches you, and hopefully it provides something at ease and to fight for something that is right. And climate change is real, and part of it is from deforestation. And indigenous people are dying, being misplaced. Species are dying just for a crop, for example, like palm oil that we use daily. We can cut back on a lot of that stuff. We can cut back on it. We can find different ways to produce different types of stuff that we need for key ingredients. There's different ways to do this. And it starts with you. It starts with us. It starts with you. Please save the rainforest. Thank you.